The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. At that time, Jesus said to the crowd, "Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was thrown into the sea and gathered fish of every kind. When it was full, men drew it ashore and sat down and sorted the good into containers, but threw away the bad. So it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come out and separate the evil from the righteous and throw them into the fiery furnace. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." "Have you understood all these things?" They said to him, "Yes." And he said to them, "Therefore every scribe who has been trained for the kingdom of heaven is like the master of a house, who brings out of his treasure what is new and what is old." And when Jesus had finished these parables, he went away from there. The Gospel of the Lord.
Pope Paul VI, who was the Holy Father from 1963 until 1978, once said, "The first means of evangelization is the witness of an authentically Christian life." People today, he said, listen more willingly to witnesses than to teachers. And if they listen to teachers, it's only because they are already witnesses. To put it very simply, Pope Paul was saying that if we truly want to inspire the Christian message in the hearts of the people around us, which I hope we all want to do because it is a very sacred calling that Jesus has placed upon us. If we want to do that, then we must truly believe in that message for ourselves. We must live it without contradiction, and we must show clearly every day how the good news of Jesus is bringing us joy and peace, consolation, and direction for our way of living. So what steps must we take if we are to give authentic Christian witness, the authentic witness that Jesus is asking of us? To begin to achieve this, I think, first and foremost, we have to strive to be people of joy and hope. There's an old saying, and I think it's very true: first impressions last. So we have to give always a good first impression if we want to touch the hearts of people around us. We must radiate smiles, a joy which says, "I know Jesus. He gives great purpose and value to my life. I have experienced his love, his care. He has touched my heart with his goodness and his mercy. In fact, he lives in me. He guides me in my choices and decisions. He is calling me to live with him eternally in heaven. But he has asked me to do one very important thing. He has asked me to bring as many of my brothers and sisters with me as I can. And so that's why I'm living the way I do." I hope that when people see me, they will see that Jesus lives in my heart. This is why I help people in whatever way I can and strive hard to not judge anyone. This is why I try to speak the truth and avoid lies and the poison of gossip. This is why I try to show understanding and appreciation for those who are different from me or thought badly of. This is why, in the face of criticism and personal attack, I try to remain calm. I try to forgive and work for peace and reconciliation. This is why I respect people and show appreciation for their help and their kindness. This is why, in the face of failure and pain, I strive to put my trust in God, believe that He will carry me through, and unite my sufferings to the cross of Jesus, so that the Lord can help many other souls who are in great need. The first means of evangelization is the witness of an authentically Christian life. Now, it would be very arrogant of me to presume for even a moment that my humble efforts to try and imitate Jesus and witness to His teachings would touch anyone, that it could enrich the faith of anyone. Only the grace of God can touch souls. Only the grace of God can convert people to Jesus and bring them into a life-giving and life-saving relationship with Him. But if my efforts to give good example are empowered with sincere and significant prayer, then I can become an instrument in God's hands to draw souls to Jesus. And this, of course, is a very core teaching of our Catholic faith. That's why we must respond to it. Here in Medjugorje, for the last 44 years, our Blessed Mother has devoted many of her messages to teach us how to pray well and how to bring her children back to her Son by placing great emphasis on the importance of praying from the heart. Prayer from the heart means that we are going to try and enter into a very sincere and loving conversation to God. We're going to speak to Him, we're going to praise Him, but I hope too we're going to try and listen to Him. Always remember, we were given 2 ears and only 1 mouth, because we are to listen quite as hard as we are to speak. If I'm going to pray with my heart, it means that I have to mean the words I'm speaking. It means I have to trust that my words and my prayer are really and truly going to change the state of the world, the problems I'm facing, and the difficult situations around me. Our Blessed Mother emphasizes very much the power of the Rosary and Eucharistic adoration. If I'm going to pray with my heart, I must try to encounter Jesus in these forms of prayer. And our Blessed Mother also invites us to offer all our joys and all our sorrows to her Immaculate Heart, that she might lead us to her beloved Son. Our prayer from the heart is a very powerful means for drawing souls to God. And I believe we can make it even more powerful by uniting our prayer to the heart of Mary. Each time I pray, I always begin by asking our Blessed Mother for the grace to be able to place my heart into her Immaculate Heart, and that she would place her heart in mine. I always ask her the grace that the guardian angel of every soul, living and deceased, could also be placed into her heart, along with all the saints and angels, so that all united in the chalice of her Immaculate Heart, we could make an incredible plea to God for the graces that we need. And I firmly believe it works. Uniting ourselves to the heart of Mary and praying through the heart of Mary works many, many miracles. Now, while praying in union with the heart of Mary can empower our prayer, we have to guard very carefully against the things that can diminish the power of our prayer. Lengthy formers of words rhymed off without thought are ineffective, dust in the wind. Prayers made without a sincere trust that God will listen and will respond are very weak as well. But perhaps the biggest threat to praying effectively is trying to pray out of an unrepentant heart. If a soul is stubbornly persisting in a serious sin in their lives and making no attempt to change that sinful habits that they have for gossip, for jealousy, for judging others, for criticizing, or if they are refusing to forgive a soul who has wronged them in some way, then such a soul is truly not opening their heart with God. They're not opening up to Him. And God in heaven has got many graces and blessings and guidance and protections He wants to give us, but they can't reach us because we have blocked them by our own sin and refusal to be humble before God. If our prayer is to have real power, there must be a real correspondence between what we say and how we live. Today in our Gospel, Jesus says, "Every scribe who becomes a disciple of the kingdom is like a householder who brings out from the storeroom of his life things both new and old." Here in Medjugorje, our Blessed Mother is not only reinforcing the long-held teachings of her Son and her Church, but she's also leading us to a deeper understanding of these truths and how we can live them more authentically in our daily lives. As we strive to grow in our mission and to fulfill our responsibility to teach the Christian message by our example everywhere we go, may we not only be like the faithful scribe who became a disciple by drawing things both new and old from the storeroom of our Christian heritage, but may we also embrace and live enthusiastically the messages and the teachings of our Blessed Mother.